Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. My name is Harry Durham. Q.School 2026 is done and dusted, and I'm pleased to say one of the players who picked up a tour card, he had to pick up a tour card. There is no doubt whatsoever. Charlie Manby is here with me on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Champagne, how are we feeling, my son?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's just it's been a tough 4 days. It's always tough at Q.School, but yeah, just happy to come out on the right side and pick up the tour card.
Talk me through the feelings, the emotions. I mean, we saw it at the Worlds. We've seen you at Modus down in Portsmouth as well. When you secure that big check, it doesn't even have to be a big check. I remember you were on Madhouse against Cameron Menzies, and you're a passionate, loud player, which we love to see. You give a bit of a roar. Was that the case yesterday? Was there any tears when you secured the tour card?
No, there wasn't actually. There was. There almost was. Don't get me wrong, but I think because everything's been so jam packed, over Christmas and coming into this year, it's been hard work. You feel like you're just never at home, and you can't even settle down or anything. It's been hard, but it's the price you pay for playing this game, and it's a great feeling. Like, you get a lot of buzz from it, but I think with all that's gone on, I think it's still not really sank in quite yet.
How daunting is the prospect of Q.School? Obviously, a lot of people were bigging you up off the back of Modus. You speak about development tour and the high average that you got. Did you feel a lot of pressure going into the week just gone?
Not really. No, I try to avoid the pressure. I think I do it quite well. If there's any pressure on me, it's what I'm putting on myself, which I do that sometimes, and it's hard to sort of brush it off. Um, but yeah, I just when I settle down and when there's no pressure on me, that's when I play my best darts, and I think that showed.
How'd you celebrate with the family last night, Charlie? I spoke to you just as we hit record to give a context to the people. I was trying to find your manager's number. I've been trying to contact him since you were doing the Worlds, because I was like, I need to get Champagne down. We need to be shooting some videos, the pub versus pro and stuff like that, which hopefully is going to happen soon. But I told you I reached out to your old man Jason Two Dot Manby on Facebook, give him a little plug there, and I was like, please help me. I've exhausted every single avenue trying to get Charlie. But how did you celebrate last night? Was it staying in MK, or did you go back up
No, I
north?
came back up home. You know, um, I was just a very tiring 4 days. Coming off the back of that World's run as well. You not really much time to get back down to earth. So yeah, just a quiet one really. It's a good feeling, but I'm sure when the time's right, we'll celebrate.
I mean, we look through all of this because obviously we can't watch Q's go on TV. We're obviously always following it. I think Dark Connect off the top of my head. Um, One of the standout performances, and he didn't pick up a tour card, was Jack Aldridge, putting up some disgusting averages throughout the week. I mean, they're an absolute joke, weren't they? You lost to him on your opening day. Did you have any doubts going through your mind when you lost that sort of opening game that maybe this year wasn't going to be the year?
Yeah, they were actually. It were. I think the first 2 days were a bit heartbreaking. Um, results not going my way. But you're still playing well, so you've got to take the positives. And it is hard to sort of bounce back from, stuff like that. I've never heard of Jack before, but what a player, and played well, hitting the right things at the right time, and you've just got to take your hat off and say well done. But yeah, there were always doubt going through my mind that it might not have been this time, But then I think my manager took me in and gave me a bit of a word, and we're like, if it's not this year, it's not this year. So be it. It just happens. A year on the Challenge Tour and Development Tour again. It's not the end of the world. Um, but yeah, I think I did all right in the end. Did it the hard way, but pushed through.
You obviously mentioned your manager then, and obviously giving you sort of like a little pep talk and whatnot. How difficult? Because we know you love the stage from seeing you at the Worlds and at Modus as well, and the Worlds is 3,500 people, packed house at Alexandra Palace. What is your relationship going to be like on the floor, do you reckon, when those Pro Tours do come around?
I think my floor events has been, decent um, on the Dev Tour last year and Challenge Tour as well. So, I think I've played well enough, and the Pro Tours I have been invited to. You always play well against. I always play better against better players, and it was simple as that, really. So, I have got the game. I've probably got a better game on the floor than the stage, but I think I just on that world stage, I knew how to win. I knew that from the first game when I managed to get over the line against Cami. I think it was I'd have rather won like that because I learned a lot about myself. So if you can do it on the stage and you know how to win, I'm sure you can do it on the floor. So yeah, just no pressure, and I think I'll be fine. Just crack on with it, and yeah, hopefully floor events will do me good.
I mean, you look at the development you've got on at Modus as well. How beneficial was your time down in Portsmouth playing in the Super Series and whatnot, and winning on finals nights? The amount of nights that you did win, it must have been so beneficial to you and your development as a darts player.
Yeah, definitely. I think what Modus are doing for players who are not on the tour. It's great. I think it gives people the confidence what they need. There's certain things in darts where you need 5% confidence. You need 5% backing from family, friends, whatever. So yeah, you need certain bits of that, and they're just giving everything what players need. Like myself, who's been down there a few times this year, last year, just gone. So yeah, it's just sort of pushed me in the right direction, and like I said, just give me a big boost what I needed. Especially doing what I did on the Champions League, winning that, and then going straight into the World. So yeah, it's good for what they're doing for amateur darts players.
How pleased were you to see some of your fellow opponents, colleagues from Modus? You think about Shane McGurk, Tom Sykes as well, to be getting a tour card. The talent pool that has come out of there, it's been remarkable. And people always say to me, and we know it now, I've done it for a few years, people always say, where are we finding the next generation of darts? And I say, Live Lounge, Portsmouth. The graduates that we've had coming through there, yourself, Shane, who's what, world champion in the WDF. How do you think they're going to fare up? How proud are you as well to see them come to this level?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think there's a lot of good players that go to Q.School, and if you look at the players that haven't got a card, it's crazy. But then the players that have got a card, they're all top quality players. So yeah, Tom's a good mate of mine, locally as well. So yeah, I'm glad to see him get it. He's been knocking on the door for years now. So yeah, it's good. You see people play the Modus, and it's a bit different, like with short format first to four and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's good to see that people are doing well from that and they're kicking on.
How proud are you of what you achieved, especially at the Worlds as well? I mean, getting past Cameron Menzies, Rapid Ricky, who was unbelievable, and it sort of just seemed to fall apart at the back end of that leg for him, and then not being able to get over the line against Hian, who obviously made it into the final. But were you heartbroken off the back of the Hian defeat, or were you a bit sort of like, do you know what? In my mind, I may not have. I was, happy to play in the first round. I was happy to get that experience of Alexandra Palace. You didn't beat yourself up at all, did you?
No, no, listen, no one's ever happy with losing. I get that. It's one of them things, but it wasn't really heartbreaking at that moment in time. It was just sort of thing of if you'd have told me that at the start of the comp that I get to the last 16, I'd have snapped your hand off. So yeah, it was one of them really. Beating the players that I did. I think it's just showing everyone that I can compete, and if my A game does come out of me and everything clicks, then I am up there with the rest of them.
Has that prize money dropped from the world yet? Have you? We always ask these sorts of questions. If you've made an extravagant purchase or anything like that, have you? If that money has dropped, have you bought yourself something to celebrate or not?
No, no, it hasn't dropped yet. No, it's it is a lot of money, for a young lad, but at the same time you've got to look at your future and everything like that. But yeah, I do need a new car. So that could be one of the first things.
What you eyeing up? What motor are you fancying? And what are you driving now as well?
So I've got an i20 at the minute, Hyundai, and ever since I got that about, I don't know, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I've always wanted a i20N. So yeah, I'll be looking at a few of them, I think.
Oh, listen, car dealers around Huddersfield, Champagne is coming, and you got to kit him out of the best in the business, the best sound system. And, he needs to look the part as well. Charlie, I know it's like a basic question, and I'm not, I don't want to go down the avenue of being like, oh, what do you want to win? Blah, 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 blah. Because, of course, you want to win the world, you want to win the match plays, and in the future, you want to be in the Premier League. If you were to set out sort of like your ambitions for the next 12 months with you now being on the tour, what is it that you would like to achieve?
I think because I'm still young, and I think there's plenty of time for me personally in this game. I feel like I'll be around for a long number of years, but I think with that reason being said, I think just give it a good shot this year and just see what happens. I went into the Worlds as saying it were a free shot, and going into Q.School sort of like people backing you, and that's what my manager said to me. It was like, just think of it as a free shot, like you did Worlds, and just relax, no pressure on your shoulders, no nothing, and just go through. So that's mainly what I want to do this year, and then hopefully, 2 year tour card. So hopefully, year after this, I'll be able to push up and get into top 64 and climb the rankings.
Are you still going to be a brickie? I mean, what have you said to the gaffer? Because I knew you had a few days off at the Worlds, and he said, "I'm not coming in. I'm not coming in the next few days. I'm having a rest." If obviously the tour card got picked up yesterday, what did the gaffer say? Did he say, "I need you"? Because obviously we're recording now at 10 minutes past one. You're obviously not in work.
Yeah.
What's happened with the with your gaffer, Mister Bricklayer Boss?
No, he's sound. He's always been into darts. He's over the moon for me as well. Which is always good. Um, these things lined up for next year. Sponsors available and stuff like that. What'll pay decent money as well. So yeah, hopefully I don't have to pick my trowel up as much or if at all. So
Champagne, mate, I want to thank you so much. Congratulations to you, the family. Go kick your feet up if you can, mate. Go relax. I mean, reflect on everything that you've achieved over the last few weeks because it's sensational. And I'll hopefully see you down in London in a few weeks. And hopefully we can go for a little spin in your new motor as well.
perfect. Thank you very much.